When chaos brought forth Gaia, another entity came into the cosmos.
Not quite a god, not even quite a being, but more of a force, a power.
Eros, the power of love.
A desire for companionship, a desire to create new life that suffused the emptiness that surrounded young Gaia. Now aware of her loneliness, Gaia desired companionship and created the sky, Uranus. The love between earth and sky was violent and unpredictable, tumultuous. Eros was a young power then, with no center, no focus, but still it was present, fueling their passion. In time, some of the essence of earth and sky mixed combined, and new life was brought forth. The first children of earth and sky were the Titans, the gods of time. They were followed by the Hecatoncheires, with their 50 heads and 100 hands, and the one-eyed Cyclops, as powerful as storms.
Eros brought other things beside love to the cosmos.
Like jealousy, which Ouranos now felt.
Previously, he had had the love of Gaia, all to himself, but now her love was shared among their children.
Deep, deep in Grandmother Earth was Tartaros, a place so deep that Eros had been unable to permeate it. Uranus split open Gaia and imprisoned the Hecatoncheires and Cyclops deep in the dark of Tartaros. Fewer children to share the love of Grandmother Earth, and with love, with jealousy, came hate. And now Earth hated the sky.
Gaia had a plan.
She whispered sweet nothings to Ouranos and brought him close to her.
He didn't see Kronos, the youngest of the Titans, approach armed with a sickle of unbreakable adamantium.
Deep within Uranus was the place where the power of Eros had its seat, where it fueled his love, his passion, and desire. And Kronos cut it away. The seat of Eros' power in Uranus fell to the earth. It was swallowed by the seas that geared Mother Earth. The foam that trailed from the severed piece of sky churned and roiled for an age. Under the sway of Eros, the Titans came together and brought forth new generations. Only the Hecatoncheires and the Cyclops, imprisoned still in Tartaros, were immune to its touch. Kronos, spurred by the same jealousy that afflicted his father, as well as a fear of sharing his father's fate, swallowed this child and the ones that followed. But Grandmother Earth deceived Kronos and hid one child away. That child, Zeus, grew up to free his siblings and overthrow Kronos. And still, the waters frothed and seethed. Zeus and these new gods, the Olympians, were no strangers to Eros' power. They coupled with one another, with other beings, with monsters, even with humans. And in turn, they produced more gods, more heroes, more monsters. All across the earth, there was an amazing variety of life, all under the sway, the passion, the generative power of Eros. Still, without a focus, or a center, or a guiding intelligence, but everywhere, and within everyone. Then, one day, the swirling froth that seethed and simmered from the severed portion of Uranus, the portion that had housed his own Eros, created a mind for itself. And suddenly, Eros was aware. She shaped the water and foam about her into a perfect physical form. Do you remember that day, sisters? I doubt any who lived that could ever forget, who could ever want to forget.
The power of Eros given flesh at last. She headed toward the shore of the nearest island, called Cyprus. It was Zephyrus, the west wind, who first spotted her. He blew her sweet fragrance over the land near and far. She smiled, laughing as the wind tousled her newborn hair. Her perfectly formed feet touched the earth, and wild flowers sprang up in ecstatic ebullience of new life. And this was how the world met Aphrodite.
We were there then, sisters.
We, who trafficked in beauty, in charm, in grace.
And even we were struck dumb.
So great was her allure, we pledged ourselves to her at that very moment.
We, the three charities, attendants of Aphrodite, Aglaia,
Ephrosyne,
And Talia.
The power of Eros had existed before, since the time before time. But now, for the first time, it had a consciousness and avatar. All things everywhere felt the stirring of love.
The wedding of Aphrodite and Hephaestus was rushed and perfunctory, but it served its purpose.
The gods would no longer fight for her hand, now that it was tied in matrimony.
She who had much love to give, who was love, was trapped in a loveless marriage.
A hot, sooty forge was no place for Aphrodite. For his part, Hephaestus was gentle and kind-hearted. He was also, unfortunately, coarse and unattractive. He was not much of a conversationalist. When he walked, he was awkward and ungainly. But Hephaestus was a craftsman beyond compare. Ugly though he was, the things he made were beautiful beyond words. Although he hadn't been married to the lady, he still wanted only to please her. But the lady had so much love to give.
Goof! Please give me your beloved. I made something for you. Here, do you like it?
Yes. Thank you, my husband. It is very pretty. It's very stuffy in here. I'm going to go for a walk.
Take care, beloved.
The wedding of Thetis and Peleus was a grand affair, and every divinity was in attendance.
Every divinity except one, Eris, the goddess of discord.
Wherever there was a fight, an argument, disagreement, a spat, Eris was there.
Small wonder she wasn't invited.
I'm sorry, you're just not on the guest list.
Why? I'll huff and I'll...
Is there a problem here?
They say I'm not invited.
I'm sure it's just an oversight. I can vouch for her. And you'll be on your best behavior, won't you, Eris?
But Eris was offended, and she was going to make sure everyone knew it. She wandered from seat to seat, jumping up and squawking loudly at random intervals. She sang tunelessly and banged loudly on a shield until Ares stopped her. Then she tried to make fire until Hephaestus made her cease. Eris sat a while in an angry sulk, trying to figure out how she might free the Titans and disrupt the wedding. Then she had the best idea she had ever had in her life.
Hey, for the most beautiful one.
She wound up and threw a beautiful golden apple, like the ones from Hera's own garden of Hesperide.
Awkward.
Well, what should we do now? Apparently, we all feel we're entitled.
I suppose you think it should just go to you. You obviously feel you're the most beautiful.
You said it, honey. Not me.
Evidently, we all feel like we're the most beautiful, or we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, and isn't that a bit out of character for you? Since when do you care about your looks?
I care very much about my appearance, just because I don't dress like a floozy.
Oh, a cutting remark from Pallas Athena. I know it was directed at me because I'm the only one here not dressed like a soldier or a frump.
What is that supposed to mean? Are you saying I dress unfashionably?
If the sandal fits, Hera, maybe if you cut loose every once in a while, your husband...
Zeus!
What's going on here?
We need you to settle something. Whichever one of us is the most beautiful gets the apple.
That's not yours. That's it? I thought there would be a huge fight.
No, not now. But some things are inevitable. The trick is realizing when something is unavoidable and then positioning yourself to best be able to take advantage of it.
I was sad when I wasn't invited to the wedding.
I know you were. Eris, I'm sorry we had to do that. Sides were drawn today, and you, dear Eris, helped plant the seeds of a future conflict. The actions of Aphrodite and that prince of Troy will one day lead to a war, a great war, a conflagration that will consume the age of heroes, a war that will echo down through the ages that will be compared to for all time. And that is a tale for another day.